Today, we'll be taking a look at the belt switch on this LG electric dryer. Be sure to visit ApplianceVideo.com, where you will find thousands of repair videos on the latest technology. And for a limited time, you can save big on an annual membership and take advantage of all of our premium benefits. ApplianceVideo.com. Do it right the first time. The main reasons why you'd be replacing a belt switch is if the unit will not start. To begin your repair, we must first access the back of the unit. Stop. Always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for the proper voltage. You will need the following tools to complete this repair. Now that we're at the back of the unit, in order to lift the top, we must first remove our safety cover here. It is held on with one Phillips screw in the middle. Take this off. Now it does have a couple of tabs that are holding it on. You'll have to kind of press in, then lift up and set it to the side. Next, to lift the top, there are two kind of spring clips under each side. You'll have to use a putty knife. Go in here, start to press on it, and lift at the same time. When you feel it lift up, you can go over to the other side. Now we'll go to the other side. I felt it lift up. Next, we will be leaning it against the wall. If you have to pull it out a little bit, you can do so. So we'll put a blanket on the top so it can't get damaged. And lean it up here so we can take off the front. When removing the front of the unit, first disconnect your Molexes from the light as well as the door switch. Next, you'll have multiple Phillips screws around that will have to be removed. We'll take the two off the top first. Next, we'll open it up. There are a couple of Phillips screws inside here. This one, as well as these two on the bottom that will have to be taken out. Now carefully, these two here will have to be removed, but this one, you have to be careful as you can scratch the door since it's so close. We'll just keep pressure on the top of the door. Go ahead and close it. Pull down on the frame portion. Lift up and set it to the side. Now that we have the front panel removed, we can start to remove the bulkhead. In order to remove the bulkhead, there are a couple of Phillips screws that have to be taken out. Next, on the bottom here, we have one wiring harness. You will pinch, separate it, lift up on the bulkhead. We're just trying to pull kind of the arms out of the slotted area. So you'll lift up and pull out, grab the bulkhead and set it to the side. Now that we have the bulkhead removed, we can now remove the drum. In order to do so, first we will have to take the belt off of the motor. You will reach under, grab the idler pulley, pull it back, remove the belt from the actual motor pulley, gently let it down, and we will use this to pull up on the drum and to kind of carry it out. Pull the drum out and set it to the side. Now that we have the drum removed, we have clear access to our belt switch here. Now, you can do a good visual inspection here. If you see the belt switch, the way that this mechanism works is when your belt is on the drum, it pulls up on your idler and says that your belt is intact, but as soon as your belt breaks, your idler goes down, presses on the switch, and tells it that your belt is broken. thus causing it to not start. Now, if your belt switch is faulty, your belt still may be on it and it just will not turn on because it thinks that your belt is broken. To take your switch off, it is held on with 2 Phillips screws, one on the top, one on the bottom. We'll release one and pull it out here. Start to release the second one. Now we do have our wiring harness here. You just have to tug it off. And to test your belt switch, you will use a meter, put it on ohms, go between the 2 terminals that you have here. With the switch not pushed in, you should have continuity. As soon as you press it, it will break. If you have anything other than this, it will need to be replaced. Go ahead and set your belt switch to the side. When installing your new belt switch, you will have to plug in your wiring first. Slide that on here. And for it to go in, it will go backwards like this where the screws are hitting the plastic. I highly recommend starting with the bottom screw. You may have to kind of look behind and see where you're going and just thread it once or twice. Then it's easier to see the top screw. We'll thread that, tighten up the screws. Now we can reinstall the drum. When reinstalling your drum, we will have the belt on it to guide it in. Bring it in and give it a turn so that it goes on the very back wheels of the unit. You can let it drop down. We will put our arms inside in order to reattach the belt to the idler. Lift up on the idler, wrap it around the wheel. You'll see there is a ribbed portion on the belt. That side is going to go down on the motor pulley. Let go of the idler. Now we can reinstall the bulkhead. When reinstalling your bulkhead, first we'll get it into position where the blower goes on the bottom. Start to get the wheels underneath the front and lift up to put the top arms into the slotted area. At this point, give it a turn. This will draw it in and get it on top of the wheels. And then you can lift up on each side and drop it back into the slotted area. Give it another turn. We'll go around and reinstall our screws. Next, reinstall the Molex on the bottom. Now we can reinstall the front panel. When reinstalling your front panel, first we'll bring the bottom in here and it will go into small notches on the bottom. You'll see when you're pushing it in, and then slide it in on the top just to kind of lock it in place. Next, we'll screw it in on the top. This will help hold it in place. Open up a door here. Reinstall the screws that we took out previously. Close the door. Reinstall your Molexes. Now we can reinstall the top. When installing the top, first we'll take off our blanket here, bring it down, just kind of get it into place, push down on both sides at the same time. Now we can finish up at the back. And finally, when we are installing the safety cover, we will slide in the tabs on the bottom, bring it in, look inside of the slotted areas, as sometimes you may have to press it down or you may have to wiggle the top in order for it to go in, and it actually presses down. Once you have it into place, we will reinstall the screw. And this will complete your repair. Thank you for watching another quality video from ApplianceVideo.com. If you found this video helpful, make sure you click the like and subscribe to our channel.